Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Wednesday, December 2nd. I hope you guys have all had a good day. We are officially halfway through the week. We've got things going on, right? Things that are important. Stimulus talks are going on. The vaccine talks continue to happen. Britain has expeditedly approved the Pfizer vaccine for coronavirus. Which kind of got me thinking, something that's crossed my mind, and it hadn't crossed my mind until now. Will I get it? When do I get it? Do I feel comfortable getting it? I don't know. So many questions running through my head now that I'm starting to think about it. I feel like 6 months ago, the idea of a vaccine was just so futuristic and so far down the road that we now are seeing something. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how things continue to go. Obviously, the United States has yet to approve any of the vaccines. They are trying to get something approved. On top of approvals, they're trying to push through a I think the starting point is $900 billion stimulus talk. I'm seeing Pelosi and Schumer trying to kind of push something through. We'll see what happens. Obviously, this economy needs something right now. We got to get things going. So I guess we'll have to just wait and see. There was something else, I think, that was going on that I was going to mention. Nope, maybe not. Markets are moving those stocks, kind of pushing themselves higher. We're seeing a couple other things kind of fall into range. Crude inventories came out, 8 million barrel draw, so relatively minor, no huge changes from last week, pretty much as expected, nothing crazy. So we saw the market kind of rally pretty strong and then break, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. Just kind of where's the opportunity? What are we seeing in this? How do we decide when to get in? Those are questions that come up so often. And I think one of the biggest questions, sometimes the entries are the easiest. Okay, I know I can get in here, but where the heck do I get out? And I know a lot of people come into these and they have this idea of, well, I'm only looking to make $200 to $400 a trade, maybe, or per contract. And sometimes there's more on the table, or sometimes there's less on the table. And it's really hard to put that dollar value or say, typically I'm looking for X amount of points in every profit and X amount of points in any bit of risk. I love the idea. I think it's great to have a benchmark, but every trade we get into is going to be slightly different. And we want to maximize our profits while minimizing our risks. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? But when we do get in these trades, there's that question. Well, sometimes some trades are going to cost me a little bit more to get in them, right? We're going to take a little bit more risk. The only way I can justify that is if I'm looking a little bit further off. And if we stick to these strict restrictions of my risk is this and my reward is this each and every time, it's going to be kind of difficult to take advantage of some of the moves that we see. So we want to have an idea of where can this market go? What's it going to take to get there? And can it get there today? Well, crude oil was a prime example today. The market broke through settlement, rallied all the way up just through yesterday's swing high. And from there, we broke down. And so as we're looking at this market, we have to ask ourselves, if I get in here, am I taking too much risk? Well, where's the profit target going to be? And I can define my risk from that. And I think that allows us some opportunity. That's something I do every trade I get into. I have to ask myself, okay, where can I see this thing going? If I'm just fading extremes and I'm looking for that market to stay within a relatively tight range, S&Ps today, I think we're about 25-point range in the regular trading hours. Nothing huge there. So we have to keep that in mind. If I'm looking at that tighter range, well, I'm not going to catch that perfect extreme every time. I have some risk in the trade. So if I get in that trade and say I'm risking 5 points, do I see 10 points of profit? And that's the important question we have to ask ourselves. So make sure every time you're getting into these trades, and we'll try and look at some of that stuff as we go, but every time you get into these trades, make sure those are things that are running through your head. Again, everyone's going to be absolutely different. If I say, hey, I think that's a great trade, it might be a great trade for me. Maybe it's not a great trade for you. Maybe you have a little bit different risk appetite. There is that psychological of, well, there's a point when I'm risking if I take $250, $300, $400, $500 in risk, there's a point where I have that panic sell button or buy button to exit that trade, and I don't take it all the way down to where I thought that point of failure in the trade was. So we got to keep those things in mind. All right, enough there. Murph, Felix, Christopher, Mike, good to see you guys. Tanya, not yet. I'm a nurse. I don't know. That's kind of why I'm leaning. I have to stop listening to the morning forecast. I take on a bias too easily when I hear others' ideas on market direction. I'm with you. I struggle with that a lot. Same issue. It's tough. Guys, I'm glad you brought that up. One of my biggest things every day of trading, I love hearing people's input. But before I hear that input, I make my own decision. I have my own idea of what I think the market's going to do today. Then I hear other people and I say, great, I love it. If that works for you, I am so confident in what I do that I know what I do is going to be successful over time. Maybe not every day, and some days I'm going to be wrong, but I don't question that, right? The bad days, the losing days, it's an inevitable part of trading. Don't want to question why I was wrong. I know that I'm confident in myself and in my system and in my strategy and the way I look at the markets that more often than not, I'm going to be right. So we get that bias, and it's just a matter of how much confidence do I have in myself as a trader. And I think you guys are here so often. I think you guys have that confidence. I know you've been doing well. So stick to that. And when other people give their opinion, set it aside, take it for what it's worth, and move on. All right, level 2, good to see you. I haven't seen your name in a while. Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts and see what we've got going on here today. All right, as always, we're starting with crude oil. So like I said, crude oil settled yesterday, $44.55. Market opened up, went right to settlement price, essentially yesterday's point of control. Market continued its move to the upside. And yesterday, what did we talk about? We said this market has fallen into a range, and we finally broke outside of it. That range, we said, was right around 40.60 to 40.70. That was that channel right here that we talked about yesterday. Market blew right through that. Bam. Prime opportunity to start to look at where this thing can go. We got through settlement price, okay? Our question for us, settlement price was 40.50, 44.55. All right, let's see if I get in around 55. I know if I can get through 70, I might have some potential to go check that high side of the range that we traded for the last few days, which was right up here by 45.60. So we have a really nice visible dollar move potential within our market state. So now those are when we can start to see these opportunities. Okay, if we can break through, we fall into these ranges, right? So we just look at it this way. We start to look at these things just like this, really simple. Where's my line here? And this is kind of that channel that we looked at yesterday. That market continued to fade these extremes. Once the market accepts back into those areas, that's where we can start to look for opportunity. And if we can see this market working right back up to the high side of the extreme, great opportunity for a trade. This is when it's okay to maybe start to consider, do I pick the top? Well, I'm not going to pick it the second it gets there, but I start to watch reaction around these prices. And if that price starts to show rejection and sellers start to come in, and then all of a sudden we had our sellers came in, buyers tried to give it a little bit of life, wasn't there. The market broke right back down and fell right into the center of the range for the day. All right. That's our crude oil. Guys, I want to be quick. I know John's got market therapy starting in about 5 minutes. I'm going to try and be quick to get over there. S&P's market opened up, checked almost to the tick, the overnight low, moved through it by about a tick and a half. Market rallied from there. We pushed right through settlement price yesterday, which was 36.60 half. Market pushed right through it. kind of walked around it a little bit, broke back down, and accelerated almost up to yesterday's regular trading hours high. Did not get all the way up there, but we hit that high consolidation point from yesterday. Next, let's go ahead and look at the NASDAQ. Again, I want to be quick so you guys can all get over to Market Therapy with John and Dr. Menaker. NASDAQ was a little bit different. Stayed well within yesterday's ranges. We did not get up to point of control or value area high yesterday. We fell just shy of what was pretty darn close to being point of control. We fell right to it, right here at 12,465. So this market, just like S&P's, on the open, took an initial look lower, found no acceptance, found a little bit of support down there. Market buyers came in, overpowered, and seeked high volume nodes, which happened to be that consolidation high from the overnight session right here, 12,450. Click the wrong button there. Nope, never mind. All right, here we go. Let's open up gold. Gold, just like the equities, opened up, started to look lower. It came down to yesterday's value area high and a perfect bounce off of value area high yesterday. This market rallied right back up. And guys, I want to point it out. What did we say yesterday in gold? 1818. That was that price that we were keeping an eye on. Happened to be yesterday's settlement price. This market opened up, worked right down to it, could not accept below that. Buyers came in and scooped it right up. All right, and let's go ahead and look at our currencies. John and I have been talking. We will be considering adding in something within the new year and adding something in for the new year and maybe taking something out. So we're talking about that right now. I know yesterday I kind of mentioned treasuries. It's still a possibility. All right, euro market, beautiful trend to the upside, gave some opportunity. I don't think we're catching this first initial move, but all of a sudden at about lunchtime, a little bit earlier, market broke down, gave us that point of weakness. Market already started to show trend, came to a consolidation area or a little bit of a high where this market found resistance in the overnight session, came right down to it. Boom, there's our opportunity to continue to catch this move to the upside. And there goes Sarge. He's been dreaming pretty heavily there, and I think he saw a squirrel in his dreams. Lastly, we'll take a look at the yen. Not much to say here. Initial move was higher. Market started to work higher. Could never accept back into yesterday's value area. Continued to hit that wall. And that was kind of that range. Yesterday's value area low down to yesterday's swing low was the fading extremes that we were looking at here in the yen. All right, everybody. Those are our markets here today. See some questions and comments coming in. Let me just take a quick glance. Dan, what's your approach on moving stops to B? Do you do it or just wait for the trade to develop? Great question, Felix. Every day, everything's a little bit different. John and I did our back to school webinar a while back, and one of them was talking about risk management, I believe was the title, and we talked about trailing stops, how we do it, how we approach it. I think everyone's a little different. I'm not crazy about them until I'm into some pretty good profits, and then I'll start to bring that stop up. If it's only, a couple $100, I'm not really going to move those stops. But if I'm seeing, larger 4-figure moves, and yeah, I'm going to start to bring those stops, trail them, ensure I'm locking in profits, and have that plan of where that thing can go. Homework done, but it seems to sway my bias further usually. Afternoons it is. All right, Tanya. Profit, good to see you. Level 2, I jumped in to look at my Tesla stuff. I took some action. Nice. Thanks, Level 2. Hope you do as well. Can you please share the link to Market Therapy? Yes, I can. Let me grab that link. Here we go. When is the TPO workshop? Golden, I don't think we're doing a TPO workshop. Yeah, I'm not sure. And Felix, yep, no problem. All right, guys, like I said, John's getting going here. But as always, we got to touch on a couple things. Just check where everything else is going. Tesla, 570 a share. VIX, 21. So we're up a little bit than we were yesterday. Nothing huge. And then, as always, this date in history. Can't walk away without that one. This day, 2001. Enron files for bankruptcy. And I think that was all I had. I thought I had one more. Yes. One of my favorite movies, 1997, Good Will Hunting, premiered. On that note, guys, I'm going to sign on out of here. John will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. If you don't, go check him out in the Nathaniel, what was the indicator you were using? I need a little more explanation. I don't know if you're talking about in these charts or in something else I've done. In these charts, we usually just put on volume profile as well as some SMAs and EMAs. Anyhow, like I said, if you don't go check John out now, he'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys all have a great day. Stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets.